Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe and healthy too. In session 6, we are going to understand the concept of logarithmic differentiation, where we will use log properties and logarithms in differentiation concept that we are going to understand. Before getting to the topic, first we need to understand the exponential function and logarithmic function little bit in detail. So first let's have a discussion on the exponential function. These functions are very familiar to everyone and you are also using since so long. Let's have a discussion what is exponential function. So first, if you look at the function form, it is in the form of y is equal to a to the power of x. Y equal to a to the power of x, where a is called a base as well as it's called a constant. It's a constant and x is variable, right? Now, to discuss the exponential function, we have some constraint to hold this function true, right? So hence, this constant is always greater than 0. While discussing the exponential function and law of exponential function, basically we are considering here that a, that is base, is greater than 0, right? And x may be any real number, this power may be any real number. Hence, for positive base with any real power, you are always getting y as positive because a is positive, x may positive or may negative. While simplifying, you will get the value of y as always positive. Let's have a discussion on that. I am giving three examples of exponential function here, like y equal to 2 to the power of x, y equal to 10 to the power of x, or y equal to root 2 power of x. These are few examples of exponential function. You can see while I am speaking the exponential function, I am taking the base as a positive real number and x may be any real number, that is power may be any real number. So when we are taking this examples, you will get the value of y as always positive. Now you can assign the value of x as positive or negative real number. Now are 0. What the possible values of y we are getting? Just try to understand. I am taking x is equal to 0. Then this equation, this exponential function becomes what? Its value is 1. If x is equal to 2, then value of y is 2 square, that is 4. When value of x is equal to minus 2, the value of y is 2 to the power of minus 2, that is 1 by 4. So, whether the value of x is 0 or positive or negative, the value of y you are getting it as what? Positive only. So, what I am speaking here, x may be any real number, but y is always belongs to positive real number. So therefore, I can say the domain of the function, that is exponential function, is always any real number, but the range of the function is only positive real number. Domain means the possible values of x in the equation, and range means the possible values of y, right? So here x may be any real value, hence domain is any real number, and y is always positive since we are taking the base is greater than 0, that is a is a positive real number only. The base is always a positive real number. In this manner, exponential function in the form of y is equal to a power x, right, where a is a positive real number, that is base is a positive real number, x is any real number and y is positive real number. domain and range are this. So if you are keeping these small things in consideration, then we can easily define the common exponential functions and natural exponential function. And what is common exponential function? If the base of the exponential function is 10, the base of the exponential function is 10, it's called a common exponential function, right? Now, if the base instead of 2, 3, and 10, if we take Euler number e, it's called a natural exponential function. Now, let's see, have a discussion over that, and then we'll move to the logarithmic functions. Yeah. So, what I'm speaking here, if the exponential function is defined as 10 to the power of x, here the base is 10, it's called common exponential function. Instead of 10, if you take the constant e, which is called a Euler number, then it's called a natural exponential function where the value of e is lies between 2 to 3. As it's, you know that the Euler number is obtained from the infinity series of e power x, which already it was discussed in 11th standard. That is what e x upon 0 factorial plus x upon 1 factorial, right? X to the power of 1, you can say x square upon 2 factorial, x cube upon 3 factorial, and so on. So this is basically what we call infinite series, right, which is discovered by Leonhard Euler. Hence this infinite series is called, right, Euler series, where if you substitute the value of x is 1, this series is reduced to what? 1 power 0 by 0 factor, that is 1 only, and 1 by 1 factor is also 1, 1 by 2 factorial, 1 by 3 factorial, and so on. So finally, the value of e is obtained by substituting x is equal to 1 is as looks like 1 plus 1 plus zero point 0.5, this value, and 1 upon 6, and so on. So if you take the sum of this infinite series, it's almost equivalent to 2.763 something, which is lies between 2 and 3, and this constant is called Euler number, right? So in the exponential functions, if the base is a positive real number, so instead of taking a simple numbers, if I take e as a base whose value is lies between 2 to 3, which is positive real number, then this exponential function is called natural exponential function. And if you take the base as 10, it's called a common exponential function. These are the special names. Rest of the constants के लिए commonly आप बोल सकते हैं, it is simply a exponential function. So while dealing with exponential function, you might have a knowledge about their base, power, and value. Where base is a positive real number, power is what? Any real number, that is x may be any real number. By taking these values, the value of y is always positive. Hence, domain of this function is any real number, but the range of this function is positive real number. So, if you understood this concept, with the help of this Euler series and Euler number and all, we can simply able to understand the logarithmic function, right? So what is basically a logarithmic function? It's just nothing but, we can say, inverse of exponential function. It is just a inverse of exponential function. It's called a logarithmic function. It means if y is a function of x, if you are expressing x as a function of y, then that function is called logarithmic function. How we are expressing this? If the exponential function is in the form of y is equal to a to the power of x, then we can write this function x in terms of y with the help of logarithm. What is that? X is equal to log of y to the base a. Now see, only the way of expression is different, but they are expressing the same meaning. But in y in terms of x, but is this function is x in terms of y. Now, what does it mean? We'll take the example to understand more. If I take the question like uh, y is equal to, yeah, if I assign some values here better, 32 can written as 2 to the power of 5. This is what basically exponential function we can say. Now the same can be expressed in terms of logarithm, like 5 is equal to log 32 base 2. So basically what this mean by logarithmic function is, if you are writing like log 32 base 2 means 2 का पावर क्या होना चाहिए जिससे इसकी वैल्यू 32 रीच करे. So that is what 5. So in logarithmic function, basically what we are finding, we are finding the power of the exponential function. Clear? So in a similar manner, if I simply ask log 1000 base 10, so the answer would be 3, because what should be the power of 10 so that its value becomes 1000, right? So 10 to the power of 3 will give 1000, hence log 1000 base 10 will give 3. So the same can be expressed in the exponential form simply by writing like 1000 can written as 10 to the power of 3. So you may write the exponential function into logarithmic function or logarithmic function into exponential function. It is simply the conversion of one form to other form. If the exponential function is written as y in terms of x or function of x, then the logarithmic function would be function of y, that is x in terms of y. The condition which we have studied for exponential function, same will be applicable for logarithmic function. You know that here x is any real number, here also x is any real number. And you know that the value of y is always a positive real number. Here also the log of this function is always belongs to positive real number. And we also consider that the base of this function is greater than 0. Hence, here base of the logarithm is also a greater than 0, that is, we called it as positive real number. So hence I could say here x is called the domain, but here the x is called the range. Means if these two are the inverse of each other, so domain of the exponential function is any real number, and the range of the exponential function any real number. The range of the exponential function is any positive real number. But when we come to the logarithmic functions, this will be reversed because it is y in terms of x and this is x in terms of y. Therefore, here the domain of the logarithmic function becomes what? Positive real numbers, and the range of the logarithmic function is any real number. Exactly, it is reverse of each other, or inverse function of each other. So logarithmic function is nothing but another way of expressing the exponential function. One point. The second point is logarithmic function is simply the inverse of exponential function. But the condition on which the exponential function works, on the same condition the logarithmic function also works. Hence, logarithmic functions are only for where the domain is belongs to positive real number. So, to keep this thing very clear, I am giving only two examples, right? Whether it is defined or not. Log of minus 200 with any base e, right, is not defined, because log of negative value is not defined, because we know that the domain of this function is positive real number. Now if I take log of 200, base e will work. Yeah, you may find this value. We may find the power of e such that its value becomes 200. So basically the logarithmic functions works only when the domain of this function is positive real number. Hence, when we study the properties of logarithmic functions, we are defining ourselves that we are dealing with only and only positive values of y, or this function is always positive only, correct? So now we are going to just list out the few properties of logarithmic functions, which will be very useful to understand the logarithmic differentiation, right? Yeah. Now see what we call as, right? The important properties of logarithms, right? Only properties you need to remember. We are not going into the detailed derivations of these properties. Properties of logarithmic function, log function, logarithms. The first property is, you can say, the log 1 value. The log 1 value is 0. Sir, how could you say this? Simple as that. If you take any base, I can take the base as 10 or base as e. So if I am not writing any base here, it means that the base we are taking it as e. Hence, here the logarithmic functions are divided into basically two groups. By taking the base as 10, it may be a function log of function f of x, right, base e. If base is e, it's called a natural logarithm. If base is 10, it's called a common logarithm. Common logarithm. But in this chapter, when we doing the derivative of logarithmic function, we are dealing with natural logarithmic function only. So when we speak the formulas of logarithm, that is properties of logarithm, so by default we are talking about the natural logarithmic function, where the base we consider as e, that is Euler number. You have to keep this in your mind. In entire calculus, when we talk about the properties or formulas of log or differentiation of logarithmic functions, so we are dealing by default with natural logarithm, where the base is considered as e. Now, coming to the important properties. Now log 1 value, base e, whatever, if you write e or if you write 10, the answer would be 0 only, right? What is the power of e to be raised so that its value becomes 1? That is 0 only. Hence log 1 value is 0. And the second is log 0 is not defined for any base of the log, right? With 0, it's not defined, right? Log a base a would be 1, means when the log function and the base are identical, are same, it written as 1. And the fourth is log a base b. These are the two real positive values. Then both are belongs to positive real numbers. Then this form our log function can written as log a by log b by taking the base as common exponential function. Sorry, base as Euler number, right? So then fifth one is log of a into b, that is log ab, can written as log a plus log b. Means the product can be written as the sum of two logarithmic function, and sum of two logarithmic function can written as product of the two functions, right? So log of the product of two function. It is vice versa case. Left to right भी apply होगा तो right to left भी apply होगा. And the sixth function is log of a to the power of b is written as b times of log a. B times of log a. It is just a byproduct of the property number 5. It is simply the byproduct of property number 5. So log a power b is equal to b times of log a. And last one you can say log a upon b, where b is not equal to 0, or you can say a by b is greater than 0. It's always positive, and hence it has log a minus log b. So these are the major important properties of logarithmic function. Apart from these all 7 properties, you need to remember one important, and we can say through a question also we can discuss, right? It is given as an example, solved example in the NCERT textbook, right? The value of e to the power of log x. E power log x means base is always e by default in the logarithmic function. So e to the power of log x base e means the actual base of the exponential function and the log function are same, then its value is x. That we are going to discuss, where here the x is belongs to positive real number. Fine. So that this property we are going to discuss first through as a question only. Sorry. So these are the fundamental properties you need to remember before we get into the topic. The first one is what? Log 1 value is 0. That is by definition only you can see. And log 0 is not defined at all. And log a base a value is 1. Log a base b, there these two are positive real numbers. You can write it as log a upon log b, and log a be written as log a plus log b. Log a to the power of b, b log a. Log a by b is log a minus log b. Log e to the power of log x is x. E to the power of log x is x, in short, where the function, the actual base and the log base are same, right? In the exponential function value is equal to x. That we are going to discuss first, right? So coming to the derivation of this one, because it is asked in the form of question in a textbook. The first and the most important question it is. Example number I think 28 in the textbook it is given like is is e to the power of log x base e is equal to x question mark, right? So first of all क्या e to the power of log x की value x होगा? So first to define that, first you need to look into the function. It is in the form of exponential function e to the power of x. But in place of x we have log x, hence it is called composition of two functions, function of function, right? So to define the function of function, look at this first inside function where log x is written. So log x function is only defined where x is positive. So first of all we say log x base e is defined only when x is belongs to positive real number. So therefore e to the power of log x defined is defined only for positive real numbers. Only for positive real numbers. Now we try to solve this function. How this function value becomes x. So first we'll take let y is equal to e to the power of log x base e. Let, and then you can take log on both the sides, just like you can take squaring on both the side, you can take cubing on both the sides, squared on both the side. In the same manner you can take log on both the side. If you take that one, what you will get? Log y is equal to log of e to the power of log x, in this manner, right? So if you apply the properties, it is so easy to understand. Log y is equal to, now it is in the form of log a to the power b, which written as b times of log a. So with the help of this property, I can take this power, right, in multiple form like log x into log e. And now you can simply say the log e value is 1. Reason why the log e value is always 1. You know, the base of the logarithmic function, naturally we are taking it as e. Hence, log e base e value is 1. Hence, by default what we say, whenever log e will be there, its answer would be 1. So hence its value is 1. So finally we left with log y is equal to log x. Hence we can say here by comparing on both the sides, y is equal to x. And what is y? Basically the given function. We assume it as y is equal to given function. Hence you can replace y here, right, with x. So finally you can write therefore e to the power of log x is x. This is a most important property we are going to use in some calculations of the exercise, right? Fine. So this is the first and the most important question again. I am taking here e to the power of log x is x is only defined, is only work where x is belongs to positive real numbers. It's not applicable for every real number, I mean to say. Now, apart from this, now coming to the differentiation part. So what is differentiation of exponential function? What is differentiation of log x function? We'll look into that. See. First of all, we'll come into the differentiation of e to the power of x function. Differentiation of e to the power of x is e to the power of x. This you can easily understand if you remember the expansion of e power x, that is the infinite series. Just I have told in the beginning of the session, x power 0 by 0 factorial, x power 1 by 1 factorial, x square by 2 factorial, x power 3 by 3 factorial, and so on. So if you start differentiation of e power x, it's basically what you say, derivative of e power x means derivative of the each part here, addition of the function. So you can take derivative of here, this all functions. You can see it again generates e power x only. अगर आप इसको differentiate करके देखिए, what you will get here. Now see, derivative of e power x is equal to. So x power 0 is 1, 0 factorial is also 1. So 1 by 1 is 1. So derivative of 1 is 0. So this derivative is vanishes. Now the derivative of x is 1, right? And since it is a constant, I am doing the derivative of numerator only. So derivative of x is 1 and 1 by 1 factorial is 1. So I can write that as 1 only. Derivative of x square is 2x upon here 2 factorial means 2 only. So 2 to get cancelled. You are getting again x here. The derivative of x cube, the derivative of x cube is 3x square, and here it is 3 factor means 6. Hence the final answer would be, after cancellation, you are getting x square by 2 factorial. So in this way, if you do the derivative of the remaining terms, see what the answer you are going to get. I can write this as upon 1 factorial, I can write it as 0 factorial, and 1 can written as x to the power of 0. So if you see the derivative of e power x expansion, that is what the infinite series, again the series itself. Hence, the derivative of e power x is e power x. So this is the actual the derivative of e power x derivation. So if you remember this formula, it is so easy to understand the derivative of log x function. Derivative of d by dx of log x function is 1 upon x, where x is belongs to positive real number. Again, I am speaking the condition of log function where it defines. But when we speak the derivative of log functions, we assumed that the base is e. So what else if base is not an exponent, not Euler number? Then you need to apply the log properties first and then go for derivative. Let us take an example. Derivative of log x base 5. So here you cannot write it as answer 1 by x simply, because base is not the x e here. So first you need to apply the log properties, that I can write this as d by dx of log x upon log 5. With the help of property, I can write log a base b written as log a upon log b. And then, since log 5 is a constant, I can keep this constant outside the derivative. It becomes like 1 upon log 5 into derivative of log x. Now you can simply speak it is 1 upon log 5 into derivative of log x is 1 upon x. So final answer is 1 by x into log 5. So instead of 5, if I replace with any constant which is greater than 0, that is positive real number, the entire process, this 5 will become a. So it generates a formula for us here. So if the function is in the form of log x with base different base apart from e, then the derivative is 1 by x into log a. So just you need to remember these three formulas related to derivatives and along with the properties of logarithm. If you remember the properties of logarithm and derivative of e power x and log x base e log x base a, then it is very easy to complete the exercise. It's just on fingertips. Now let's have a look what is the importance of this entire discussion which we were discussing since last 30 minutes, right? Let's have a discussion over the questions. So I'm just writing the formulas aside. Yeah. What is this? Differentiation of e to the power of x is e power x. Differentiation of log x is 1 by x. Differentiation of log x to the base a is equal to 1 by x into log a. So these are the three formulas related to derivatives. Right? Apart from this, the important properties of log you have to remember. Log m into n is written as log m plus log n. And the byproduct of this property is log m to the power of n is equal to n times of log m, and log m by n written as log m minus log n. These are the minimum three properties you are going to use in every question. Now let's have our questions over here. Right? Now we'll take some first composite functions, right? Composite functions, right? There we will use this properties and all, right? Composite functions. So based on this composite functions, you are having 5.4 exercise. You are having 5.4 exercise. This is completely NCERT based. I am talking about 5.4 exercise. I am just taking two questions for your reference. See, we are having a question. I am taking the question number 2. E to the power of sine inverse x. Right? We need to find the derivative of this function. So first, to find the derivative, first we'll take let the function as y is equal to e to the power of sine inverse x. Now take derivative on both the sides, we can say, or simply the y dash is equal to e to the power of sine inverse x whole dash, and hence now y dash equal to, you know, the derivative of it is the function form of function, that is composition function, means by chain rule only you can do the derivative of this function by chain rule. So hence here e power x derivative is e power x, so ultimately e power sine inverse x derivative is e power sine inverse x only into the derivative of the function sine inverse x in the next step, and y dash equal to e to the power of sine inverse x into, and you know the derivative of sine inverse x function is 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square. This is answer over. It's simply a chain rule. But in this chain rule, our composition of functions, we are having exponential and logarithmic function. That is the only difference between the previous session and this session. Now I'm taking the next one, where the question is like third question, e to the power of x cube, e to the power of x cube. Now simply what you will say first, let y is equal to e to the power of x cube, then start the derivative. So y dash is equal to e to the power of x cube the whole dash. which will give y dash equal to e to the power of x is e to the power of x into the derivative of x cube, that is by chain rule. So hence y dash equal to e to the power of x cube into derivative of x cube is 3x square. Answer over. It's so simple to do the derivative of the functions. But before that, you must know the formulas and properties of logarithm and a little bit knowledge of logarithmic functions. Now I am taking the main content by taking the two examples to discuss, that is logarithmic differentiation, where basically we required the logarithmic differentiation, that is a major part. Yeah. Now its 5.4 is completely a function of function, that is made by chain rule only you can solve. It is just what we called as just warm up exercise. The main content is 5.5. The where you need a lot of practice, that is this 5.5 exercise. Okay. So now I am taking a complicated question first. Yeah. Where logarithmic function is defined. Logarithmic differentiation is required where the function in the form of f of x power g of x. F of x power g of x. The function power function. Then only you can use this logarithmic differentiation to make it very simple. Okay. For that, you can just take the question like, I am taking example 32 from the test book. Example 32. Find the differentiation of differentiation of x to the power of sine x, where x is greater than 0. Now you can see, if you look at this function, the function in the form of f of x power g of x, function power function. Base is also variable, power is also variable, right? It is neither exponential nor polynomial function. It is simply the function power function. So wherever this form is there, to do the differentiation, we required logarithmic differentiation. What is by logarithmic differentiation? Simply by taking log on both the sides before start the differentiation. That's called logarithmic differentiation. Now let's see the process. First we'll start like this. Let y is equal to the given function x to the power of sine x, and then take log on both the sides. Take log on both the sides. Just take log on both the sides. What you will see? Log y is equal to log of x to the power of sine x. And then before start the differentiation, apply logarithmic properties to simplify the function and then go for differentiation. So log y is equal to, it can be written as sine x into log x by using this property. Log m to the power of n is equal to n into log m. Now, if you see, the question becomes so simple in the form of u into v, that is product rule. It becomes a product rule function, right? So we can apply product rule to do the derivative. Now take the differentiation on both the side with respect to x. So हम बोलते हैं यहाँ से लिख the statement, that is differentiate with respect to x. Now take log differentiation on both the sides. So log y whole dash is equal to sine x into log x the whole dash. And you know the derivative of log x, the derivative of log x is 1 by x, but we are having the function log y, hence it is first will apply the chain rule over here. So log x derivative is 1 by x, but the derivative of y is y dash equal to. Now it is in the form of u into v. So we simply write like first the derivative of sine x into log x u dash into v plus u into v dash, that is sine x into derivative of log x, that is product rule. Now what we have, y dash upon y, or you may also write y dash is equal by taking cross multiplication y into sine x derivative is cos x, so cos x into log x plus sine x into log x derivative is 1 by x, and now finally you can replace this y with the actual function which we are started with. So if you replace with y x to the power of sine x, that would be the final step of the answer. It's so simple. Now you people 100% understood that what is meant by logarithmic differentiation and where it is applicable. So it is applicable only where the function is in the form of f of x to the power of g of x. First, before applying this, what is meant by applying the logarithmic differentiation? Take log on both the side. Apply the logarithmic properties first to make the function simple, and then go for differentiation process as usual by using product rule, chain rule, quotient rule, whatever the applicable things thereafter. So this is the fundamental question I took. Now I am taking the complicated sum where the logarithm makes the question so simple. I am taking a question now which is little bit difficult. Example number 30 I am taking. Differentiate, the question is under root of x minus 3 into x square plus 4 upon 3x square plus 4x plus 5 with respect to x. Now to differentiate this, first we'll take the let the function is equal to pi, the given function, and see if you go with the simple method, it becomes so difficult to do the derivative and so difficult to get the simplified answer. You may start with like root x. So root x means 1 by 2 root x, and the chain rule says again the next derivative will be in the form of quotient. In that quotient you are going to get that product rule. So it becomes what, a tedious function. But if we go with the logarithmic differentiation, it's so simple. Now see how the logarithmic differentiation make the question simple. If I take this log on both the sides, it becomes like log y is equal to log of this entire function. This can written as x minus 3 into x square plus 4 upon 3x square plus 4x plus 5 whole to the power of 1 by 2. So now that is what under root n minus whole power 1 by 2. Now it in the form of log m power n. Log m power n written as n into log m. So in that way, if I write log y is equal to, it becomes half of log of x minus 3 into x square plus 4 upon 3x square plus 4x plus 5. Now if you look into the next step, in the form of log m by log n, that is third property, which can be simplified written as log m minus log n. That is log of numerator minus log of denominator. So log y written as half of, what you will say here, log of numerator part minus log of denominator. That's it. And then if you look into the next part, again you are able to write a split into a simplest form, because we are having the product of two functions in the form of log m into n, which will be written as the log m plus log n. So log of x minus 3 plus log of x square plus 4, log m into n, log m plus log n, rest is same. That is 3x power x square plus 4x plus 5. Now, you have simplified the question, right, in a simplest format. Then go for derivative. Now you can apply derivative on both the sides. Now they can start differentiate with respect to x. So if you do that one, the derivative of log y, I am taking the derivative on every part. Derivative on each part. So log y differentiation is 1 by y, and the differentiation y is what? Y dash equal to half of log x in the form of log x. So log x differentiation is 1 by x and into the derivative of x minus 3. That is chain rule. Plus again the form of log x. So derivative of log x is 1 by x and into the derivative of this function, the next step, plus again log x, so again 1 by x derivative, so 3x square plus 4x plus 5 into the derivative of 3x square plus 4x plus 5 derivative. So simply the next step is your answer. So this y can be written over here. So y dash is equal to y by 2 into y means the entire question. You need to write this function at the end in place of y. Now, the derivative of x minus 3. Derivative of x is 1, derivative of 3 is 0. Hence, this function is reduced to 1. So, 1 upon x minus 3 is left, plus derivative of x square is 2x and here 0. Hence, we are left with 2x only. 2x upon denominator is x square plus 4. Derivative of 3x square means x square is 2x and becomes 6x plus 4, constant derivative is 0. We are left with 6x plus 4 by the denominator 3x square plus 4x plus 5. So now see, simple as that, derivative, that is y dash, will give this function as an answer. So this is the importance of logarithmic function, where the sum is very complicated one. You can use the logarithmic differentiation. Second aspect is where the function in the form of f of x power g of x, then definitely you are going to use the logarithmic differentiation, means take log on both the side to simplify the function. That is the purpose behind this technique, to simplify the function and then go for differentiation, right? Now I'm taking the last question of today's session. Yeah, I'm taking the question number 12 from the exercise, like x to the power of y plus y to the power of x is equal to 1. Find the dy by dx, that is derivative of this function with respect to x. What is dy by dx? Now, since it is an implicit function, you can directly start with. But to do the derivative before started, Just look at this function. It is in the form of x power 5, that is function power function, individual function, both. Here also you can see the function power function. It means to do the derivative of these functions, you need logarithmic differentiation. So that is why what I am taking here, if I do the derivative on both the side, what I am going to get first, see, I can take this as a function, a simple unit function like u, I am assuming it as v, right? So therefore the equation becomes u plus v is equal to 1. Since both are in the form of function power function, that is why I am taking this each individual function with as u, v, w, so that the equation becomes simple. Then I will solve the function separately. So if I do this, the derivative of u plus derivative of v is equal to 0 because constant derivative is 0. Now it means that I need to find u dash and v dash separately, and then I will add both the result to get the final differentiation where I will get dy by dx. So let this is equation number 1 where you need to substitute u dash and v dash. How to get u dash and v dash? What is u we have? X to the power of y. And what is v? We cannot break the function into two individual functions. Now u is a function in the form of function power function. We take log on both the sides. So if we take log on both the sides, it becomes log u is equal to log x to the power of y. Apply the properties of log. So log u is written as y times of log x. Then take differentiation on both the sides. So what is differentiation? If you take differentiation on both the sides, it means y into log x the differentiation. Log u differentiation is 1 by u into differentiation of u is u dash is equal to, now you can apply the product rule over here, u into v rule. So y into derivative of log x plus log x into derivative of y. So in short, u dash is equal to u into log x differentiation is 1 by x, hence the function reduced to y by x plus derivative of y dash is y dash only, so hence it is log x into y dash only. So let this result number 2. This is u dash value. Similarly, to get v dash, again we are applying log on both the side. It becomes log v is equal to, I am direct writing x into log y after applying the property. If I take the derivative on both the side, it becomes 1 by v into v dash equal to x by y, that is x into log y, derivative is y into y dash plus log y into derivative of x is 1. So finally I got v dash as v into what we have, x by y into y dash plus log y. This is result number 3. Now substitute this result number 2 and 3, that is value of u dash and v dash, in the equation number 1 to get the finally the dy by dx. Okay. So first we'll substitute the u dash and v dash over here and then we will solve further. So I'm just erasing this one. I may also erase this part. Now you are thorough in the formulas and how to apply and all, you will get it. Just see, look at this. So I'm substituting the u dash and v dash value in the equation 1. U dash value I am taking from here, that is u into y by x plus log x into y dash. Log x into y dash plus v dash value is v into x upon y into y dash plus log y is equal to 0. Correct? Now simply multiply this u inside. It becomes what? U into y by x plus u into log x into y dash plus multiply with v dx upon y into y dash plus v into log y equal to 0. Now simply group the y dash terms where you will find the y dash, that is dy by dx terms, and rest of the terms you need to shift it on the other side. From these two terms I can take y dash as a common coefficient. So y dash common निकाला तो हमने, we got u into log x plus dx upon y equal to, if I shift both the terms to that side, it becomes minus v log y minus u into y by x, and finally the y dash, that is dy by dx, will be by taking this quantity here and by replacing u and v with the original functions. Remember, you need to replace this u and v again at the end. So by shifting and by replacing, finally you are getting the answer like minus v stands for y power x, that is y power x into log y, minus u stands for x to the power of y. So I am writing x to the power of y into y by x upon what we have u. U means x to the power of y into log x plus v stands for y to the power of x into x upon y. So this is your final answer, the derivative of this function. So these type of questions are very important. They are asking in exams, right, in 4 marker question frequently, and definitely one question will is going to ask from logarithmic differentiation. So what is meant by logarithmic differentiation at the end? Means simply by taking log on both the sides, by applying the properties of logarithmics, you are able to simplify the expression into simplest form and then go for the differentiation method, right, generally, and then get the final dy by dx. So I have taken 4 to 5 different sums where you will see the use of logarithmic differentiation, right? How this logarithmic differentiation makes the things simple. So in this manner, now you will be able to complete the exercise based on logarithmic differentiation. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, right? Keep watching, keep learning, and keep growing. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next session.